Today, we're diving into the shortest chapter in the entire Quran, Surah Al-Kausar. But don't let its size fool you for a second, because behind these 3 short verses is one of the most powerful and, honestly, deeply human stories you can imagine. It's a story about heartbreak, about cruelty, and about the divine answer to just unbearable pain.
Okay, I want you to just imagine this. You've just gone through the most devastating loss a parent could ever face. And while you're grieving, you hear these words being shouted out in the streets. Not by some stranger, but by your own uncle who is celebrating your pain. Well, this was the reality for the Prophet Muhammad.
And this really brings us to a huge question, one that all of us face in some way or another. When you're dealing with that kind of deep personal grief, and it's made even worse by public humiliation, where do you even begin to find strength? What could possibly answer that kind of pain? All right, let's get into it. To really understand the divine answer, we first have to feel the human pain. So let's go back to that moment in Mecca, to a home that was just shrouded in loss. Inside the Prophet's home, the air is just thick with sorrow. He's mourning his baby son, Abdullah, who's just passed away. It's a moment of private, quiet, and just overwhelming grief that any parent anywhere can understand.
And this is where the story becomes almost unbelievable. Just look at the contrast here. While the Prophet is inside, heartbroken, his own uncle, Abu Lahab, is outside celebrating. He's literally handing out dates to people in joy, shouting that with this son's death, his nephew's legacy is now cut off. I mean, the level of cruelty is it's shocking.
It was directly into this moment of maximum pain and public mockery, that a divine message came down. And it wasn't just words of comfort. It was a declaration. It was the gift of true abundance. So here's the first verse, and the language here is so precise, so powerful. It starts with the Arabic word inna, which means indeed or verily. It's a word you use for absolute, undeniable certainty. It's God saying, hey, listen, this isn't a promise for later, it's a fact. We have already granted you something immense. And that gift is Al-Kausar. This single word is the heart of the whole chapter. But it doesn't just mean one thing. It means an overwhelming, inexhaustible, superabundant goodness. It's a direct and total takedown of the idea that he could ever be cut off. So what is this Kausar? Well, it's basically everything that horrible taunt tried to deny. It's a river in paradise promising an eternal reward. It's the Quran, a legacy that guides billions. It's his name, remembered millions of times a day. And get this, it's also his beloved daughters, like Fatima, whose own legacy continues to this day. A powerful reminder that this ignorant idea that legacy only comes through sons is completely wrong.
So, when you've just been reminded of a gift on this cosmic scale, what's the only logical response? Well, the second verse tells us exactly what to do. You respond with gratitude.
So pray and sacrifice to your Lord. The logic here is just beautiful and simple. Once you really recognize the immense blessings you've been given, your own Kausar, the natural human impulse is to turn to the source of those blessings and just say thanks. And this verse, it lays out a complete blueprint for how to show that gratitude. It's got 2 parts. First, there's the private, internal connection you have with God through prayer. And then second, there's the public, external act of generosity, sacrifice, and charity, sharing your abundance with other people. It's a perfect model, really. And now we get to the final verse. This is the moment the tables are completely turned. This verse takes the very insult that was used to mock the Prophet, the phrase cut off, and it masterfully flips it right back on his hater. Indeed, the one who hates you is truly cut off. This is the mic drop moment. The verse declares that the real separation, the true lack of legacy and goodness, it doesn't belong to the person who's grieving with dignity. Nope. It belongs to the person who is consumed by hate. And the verse is just surgically precise. It doesn't use some generic word for hater. The word is shania, and this describes a very specific kind of intense, blinding hatred that makes a person lose their reason, lose their basic humanity, the kind of hate that lets you celebrate a baby's death. It's a hate that literally cuts you off from your own soul.
And, I mean, history is the ultimate judge, right? Just look at this comparison. Today, the Prophet's name is honored by billions of people. His spiritual lineage is everywhere. And Abu Lahab? His name is a cautionary tale. It's basically a synonym for cruelty. his legacy, his lineage, completely and utterly cut off, just like the verse predicted. It's unbelievable. So here's the real point. This isn't just some fascinating story from 1400 years ago. The principle of Kausar is timeless, and it's deeply relevant to every single one of us, right here, right now. You know, we all have a Kausar, an abundance of goodness in our own lives. It's our health, our families, a safe place to sleep at night, the time we have to ourselves. It is so easy to face one setback and totally forget the huge ocean of blessings we're already swimming in. And the ethical lessons here are just so direct. It teaches basic human decency. When someone is in pain, you comfort them. You don't kick them when they're down. And it's a powerful, ancient statement on the equal worth of daughters and sons in carrying on a legacy of goodness. So I'll leave you with this final thought. The next time you feel a sense of loss, like something's been cut off or taken away from you, just pause for a second, look around, and ask yourself, what is the abundant goodness? What is the Kausar in my life that I might be overlooking right now?